Good morning, everyone. Morning, morning. Shush, shush, shush. We can take our seats and be grateful. So firstly, I hope you're enjoying yourself. I always have the best slot, clearly because I'm the boss, but I have the best slot because actually what I get to do is tell you all the exciting things Gamma are doing. And actually, the reason we're doing it and why we're doing it. And hopefully you're hearing today, the reason we do what we do is actually to make sure your businesses become more profitable, become more efficient. And I say this every year, and apologies for repeating myself, but actually this is your day, yeah? We love putting this on because we view Gamma to be a family, and actually getting our customers all together in one place, allowing them to interact with each other and have discussions, actually is very rewarding to us. And we try and keep it interactive so you can feedback, which actually we take into our product and solutions development team, which will allow people at Colin and some of the other subject matter experts you've met in the room develop bigger and better solutions that can improve your business, okay? So actually my job today is telling you what we've been doing, what we're going to do going forward. But actually, first of all, I want to start off with how we'll collectively bring this together. So I'm lucky enough, and I'm just earlier on looking around the room, I probably know the majority of you. And as a customer-facing organization, I try to get out as much as I can, as all my team do, and come and talk to you about your business challenges. And actually, when I go on these meetings, I'm actually, the questions I'm asking you are really for us to glean insights, okay? And what I want to do is start off with actually, I suppose, a bit of collective healing, yeah? Is actually replay back what you've been telling us, okay? And actually, it's almost like we've scripted this, who'd have thought? But actually, it's very much in line with what you heard from the panel, and very much in line with what Alex was saying about the challenges we're seeing in the industry, okay? So, but I think it's fair to say we all agree it's been a heck of a challenging year. Now, my bosses tell me, it's a really buoyant market out there, Dave. You know, you guys doing really well, you should be growing fast. Well, actually we are. Gamma's growing very rapidly. But actually, the previous 2 years have been very challenging. We were in this hiatus, weren't we? Post-COVID, and again, that's the last time I'm going to mention it, but we were in really what we called a watching brief, yeah? If I were to bring this to life, for example, Gamma this year are deploying 5 times as many software-defined networks as we were last year, okay? We still have the same customer base. And this is because you've actually looked into your organizations, your organization is settled, and you now know what you need to implement to support your business in its new modality, okay? So this is a prime example of something we are seeing in the industry. So what are you telling us? Well, first of all, what's taking your time? No surprise, right? Cybersecurity. You know, we're the foot soldiers of protecting our organization's data. But there's an interesting challenge with cyber. It's so fast moving, yeah? And as Alex alluded to, and the guys later on will talk about this, what we're finding and what you're telling us is you've got so many tools, so much technical debt in cyber that you're really struggling to control it. And guess what? A new threat vector or a new threat comes out. You know, the big ones require a new set of tooling. And we're not retiring the old tooling or the old appliances or the old software, and we just end up with this legacy. And there's another consequence of some of the challenges of the cybersecurity, and it's budget, yeah? And I actually call this out later on, but many organizations' IT budgets are getting consumed by new threats and new cybersecurity requirements because they're coming into the organizations, they're unexpected, understandably, and you have to deal with them, yeah? And if you have a very good board or a very good CFO, he will give you extra funding. But typically, you've been asked to deliver that out of exactly the same budget that you had prior. And that's a challenge for you CIOs and IT leaders. Fairly obvious, I suppose, with hindsight. Now, this one is very interesting, digital transformation. Hands up if you've got a digital transformation program going on, yeah? Heck of a lot of you, yeah. Everyone has, and what I mean by that is organizations predominantly going to the cloud. Now, this is a really interesting insight. A lot of organizations have moved to the cloud. They've certainly probably moved to Microsoft Suite already, because why wouldn't you? But actually, it's those landlocked applications, your line of business, the hard to transfer, picking them up and moving them into the public cloud. We know the 3 major platforms out there. You might even be good enough to be multi-cloud. But the amazing thing is actually 2 CIOs fed this back to me. And actually, a couple of vendors have fed this back to me. There are organizations like yourself are basically you're challenged by the cost. Okay? Cloud is meant to be a cost-saving model, operational expenditure, reduction in people potentially. We've actually got organizations picking up the phone to us and saying, we want to move some of our apps back to a physical data center because the cost of public cloud is so expensive. Now, that's a new one for us, a new one on the radar, and actually, we're lucky enough to have some key people from Cisco speaking later on, and they can confirm their sale of data center switches and platforms is multi-digit increasing, okay? Now, I don't know how many of you are suffering from that, and I'll talk about some things later on that Gamma are doing to help you on that journey. Now, I think we've covered this, and I actually said to the team, do we really want to talk about AI? The guys will be just so bored of AI. But actually, when I speak to the CIOs and our customers, they're actually in that transition period that Alex talked about. You're basically looking at AI to save cost internally just now. And actually, your CEOs and CFOs are now turning to you as leaders to say, no, it's time to get this to give us a competitive advantage, okay? And clearly, Gamma, being very large in the CCaaS space, is something that you're looking to us to do. And I'll talk about that later on, and so will the team. But actually, it's taken a heck of a lot of your time, as Colin said, and I'm with Colin on this one, that actually, if you're going to be a CIO, you have to be a bit of a geek. But again, we have an interesting twist on that later on. So AI, consuming a lot of your time, a lot of your mindset, and certainly in the market that Gamma are in, probably 9 out of 10 of the inquiries we're getting is, what AI can you deliver us in the contact center to give us better customer experience? And again, I'll give you some insights later on, okay? Budgets. How can I speak to anyone and any one of my customers without us talking budgets? And I mean beyond the RPI, CPI price increases, yeah? But interestingly let's talk about budgets. Almost to a person, you've told me your budgets are flat, okay? Now, that can be a challenge. But actually, they're not flat. They're actually reducing, aren't they? Because there are CPI and RPI price increases, okay? So the challenge you're giving us and giving Gamma and giving my team are, please, can you do more for less, okay? So now, if we overlay on top of that the cybersecurity threat, all this new tooling we have to buy, all these additional threats, our budgets are really, really under pressure. Okay, now I don't have a silver bullet for you there, but I can certainly tell you that we're working with many organizations to help them consolidate, shall we say, their infrastructures and actually optimize their infrastructures to give them a better return. And again, the team will talk about that later on. But it's interesting, the budget was not the top of the list, okay? Number 4 on the list of what organizations are telling me their challenges are. Now, the final one, and this is really interesting, because the way we bring GX together is we sit down and think of a theme, and then we go off in all our ways and think about what we want to talk about. 3 people went off and came back and talked about the changing role of the CIO. We didn't sit down and collude that. So it's really interesting that when I'm speaking to organizations, we're seeing a change in you guys, what you are, who you are, what the business is asking you to be. The panel's telling us that actually some are business aligned, but actually you should be techie still. I had about 45 meetings last year with CIOs, what I call senior level CIOs. And it's the first real year that I've looked at the person and I've sat down with them and had a good little debate with them. Of 45 people, 10 of them were non-technologists. And what I mean by that is they've come through the ranks of the business and not through the technology stack, okay? And that's a real interesting change that we're seeing in the market. And that really echoes what Alex said, that organizations are actually going to the CNO, going to you as technologists and business leaders, or technology leaders, and saying, please fix this business problem, and how can you do that for me? Not go and get a technical solution for this, which I think is really challenging, and it's a real interesting change for Gamma, because we've always foresaw this is where the managed services business should be, not being a speeds and feeds style organization. And I hope you'll agree with me, we're getting that right. The journey's not complete, but actually we think we're on the right path. So that's the kind of insights from you guys. So how are we going to help you, I suppose, address some of those insights and address some of the challenges? So at Gamma, we view ourselves as a big family, and hopefully many of you that have been customers for a number of years agree with that. And you know, there's two sides to any family, and first of all, I'd like to welcome some new members. And as I said at the outset, really today's about you. So if you're in a competitive scenario, or you're in an industry that one of these, you know, many of them are in the room, please communicate with them. We want you to collaborate. We want you to get together. We want people in retail, we want people in public sector, people in health to talk to each other, and then talk to Gamma and work with us to create better solutions and products so that we can improve your business, as I said at the start. So I'd like to welcome and thank these people, these new organizations, for the commitment, and welcome to the family, and I hope we're going to see them for many GXs to come. Now, as a managed services provider, the great benefit of us is we have long-term relationships with our customers. So actually, 50% of Gamma's business, for your reference, just to give you some insight, comes from our existing customers. Okay, and these are organizations that maybe we're doing some connectivity for, maybe we're running their voice services, or UCaaS or CCaaS. They might move into another segment. So again, I'd like to thank our existing customers who have made further commitment to the Gamma family and welcome them into the fold. So thank you very much indeed. Now, we have a new member of the Gamma family, okay? You might have met him, her, let's be pronoun right, upstairs. It might be non-binary, we don't know. So, I don't know, anyone asked his name? Does anyone know his name? And it's not Doggy McDogface, as somebody said to me earlier on. Well, he doesn't have, sorry, I nearly got caught out there, didn't I? Doesn't have a name. So, can you all get your phones out, please? QR code. I can see you haven't got your phones out, come on. So it's, I'd like you to name the dog, okay? Now, this is an ongoing competition in the Gamma world. It's gone around the staff, it's gone around our European countries, and we'll shortly be choosing our favorite name, okay? So it could be you, it could be your name, okay? So, legal names only. Fun works. So yes, I'd be really grateful if you can have a go at that, to bring a little bit of fun to today, okay? So, and by it as a dog, not a bear, as somebody said to me earlier on. So, okay, so what have we been up to? Let's get the pace up on this. You know, we develop products and services that hopefully can improve your businesses over the years to come. Last year, you'd probably gone, these guys are talking a lot about cybersecurity. I didn't realize they did it. It was a little bit of an embarrassment last year that we had a whole roadshow based around cybersecurity, because we knew we were making a fairly strategic acquisition that, as all things happens, acquisitions, it took a little longer to go over the line. So, we prepared GX, and the acquisition hadn't happened. So clearly many of you have seen the announcement. We managed to bring into the fold an organization called StatusNet, 18-year pedigree of managed security services. And in fact, I was just speaking to one of the customers I referenced on the second layer there that have already taken their SOC and SIEM services and given us some great feedback. Why? Why did we buy cyber? Well, it's fairly obvious that we are uniquely placed to be a market-leading cybersecurity vendor to our customers, yeah? As the core of the network, the great benefit Gamma has is we see everything that goes on in your infrastructure. Clearly privileged. But so actually what we've done is take the Satisnet knowledge and know-how and integrate it into the Gamma cloud. And that's now called Gamma Secure. And the guys are going to run you through it later on, so I'm not going to dwell on that. But basically, we've enhanced this service. So we have the full Microsoft attack suite. We have the full Microsoft components. But we've actually integrated it to some vertical stack security products, working with Tenable, Palo Alto, Cisco Meraki. And actually, we believe we've got one of the most secure SD-WAN products you can buy today, with Gamma Secure on the back of it. So guys will take you through that later on. Very exciting, and you'll see more enhancements of that coming on. So what about SD-WAN? Did you hear that? Did you hear, sorry, I can't remember his name, Persimmon, a construction company that can't get connectivity. It's like a busman's holiday for us, wasn't it? So again, our SD-WAN product and portfolio is ever enhancing. Alex briefly touched on the great news that we call it the switch on, incidentally, not the switch off, because we're switching on to digital products, not switching off analog products, okay? So we have the full portfolio of FTTX. Just for your reference, I'll talk about it in a minute, the switch on, switch off is only a delay for Exchange shutdowns, okay? I'll come back to that one. We have full Ethernet portfolio. Again, somebody in the break was asking me about connectivity in the People's Republic of Hull. Yes, we can, we have the full portfolio from 10 meg up to 100 gig and beyond dark fiber. So again, all delivered as key software-defined solutions. 5G, fast start, construction sites. A little bit of an announcement. It's been in the market a while. Our 5G product has now been enhanced to have no band steering. So one of the great problems of multi-network 4 and 5G is that they actually have a preferred home network. So it hangs onto that network until it can see that network no longer, then it will roam for the other networks. So Gamma brought to market a SIM that will just work with the best network, okay? And we believe that's quite unique. Again, it came with one of our recent acquisitions from a German organization, and that's a product you'll shortly be hearing about in the market. We have some customers already using it in the room, called Fusion IoT. Hints in the name. It will also be an IoT SIM. So again, speak to your account managers about that, because it is really quite transformational. And clearly on the back of it, we've developed our SD-WAN Secure and added some additional observability. What do I mean by that? Well, go into your SD-WAN product and we can show all of you, show the tunnels, we can show the connectivity, we can show you the 5G, we can show you, as I'm going to tell you in a minute, the satellite connectivity on a single dashboard. We believe that's quite unique and market leading. And without leaving the guys out, so one of the account managers will be shortly ringing up Persimmon and telling them we can deploy Starlink into every construction site you've got in the UK in a matter of days, yeah? We announced this last year to say that we were looking at a partnership with SpaceX. That's now fully in place, and we are deploying Starlink solutions into our enterprise customers. It isn't a silver bullet. It does have some operational challenges, but please consider it for your fast start. We're lucky enough to have our friends at Claris Networks, who are the distributor for the product in the United Kingdom, upstairs. Drop by their stand. It's a really interesting technology and actually extremely cost effective. So we've also been busy in M&A. We've bought a number of organizations, and I'll explain one of them that's very pertinent to the enterprise and public sector. We acquired a very good organization in the UK called Pragma. You wouldn't have heard of them because they're a distributor, okay? But what they're a distributor of is session border controllers, secure dark web security product, but more importantly, Ericsson LG voice platforms, okay? Silence in the room because you're going, aren't you Cisco, aren't you Microsoft? Well, we are. But actually, we want a solution that can meet all elements of the market, okay? And I'm not saying that these products don't meet the full market, but actually there are some challenging requirements where each of these products uniquely stand out. So actually, I believe Certainly in the European market, not even the UK market, and hopefully, the ExCo of Gamma will agree to this, we now have the most complete UCaaS portfolio of any network operator, certainly, but any UCaaS, CCaaS vendor in the UK. So again, to drive that digital switch on, come to us with your challenges, and we'll be able to do a best fit. And the great element, and you'll hear from the Cisco team later on, not only are these standalone products, certainly with the Cisco suite, they integrate with each other. So if you're a Teams house, there is no reason why you can't have your enterprise-grade voice powered by Cisco, or vice versa, okay? I'll let the team later on explain why you would do that, okay? So we believe that is a very unique position and one we're all very excited about. The one that certainly excited me most, God, we've been busy, haven't we, is we acquired an organization called Coolwave. Again, you may not have heard of them. But Coolwave have actually just given us, overnight, one of the largest international numbering, SIP, telephony footprints in Europe, okay? Why have we done that? Well, a lot of you in the room are Microsoft Teams customers with us, using a combination maybe of our UCX platform, which as we know is an enhanced Operator Connect or Operator Connect. Well, to a person, almost every one of you said, Dave, I've got an office here, there, everywhere. Can you give me the Connect? Can you give me the Teams integration for that? Well, the answer is we could, formerly through partnership, and we had for many of you, but actually we now do it directly. We've now bought the network, and we're quickly integrating that into our full portfolio of products, not just Microsoft Teams. So again, if you've got international requirements, please pick up the phone to your account manager, because we'll be able to deliver that turnkey. Certainly the majority of the European ones are available already, and we'll shortly be deploying the kind of very unusual international ones, Bolivia, Mexico, elements like that, as we deploy that, and more importantly, get operating licenses in these countries. Again, to give the Gamma background, we make sure we do this legally, okay, in these countries, because some of you, I know, have had challenges of your offices being cut off because the provider you're using doesn't have a license to operate in that country, which is clearly a challenge. So the next one is an interesting announcement. You'll probably go, oh, that's a bit unusual. Why would you want to do that? Well, with immediate effect, Gamma will be able to sell you Microsoft licensing, okay? Why are we doing it? It's a well-defined market in the UK and Europe. Well, actually, the reason we're doing it is because you've asked us to. With the addition of our Satisnet, who are one of the UK's leading providers of advanced Microsoft threat detection, along with our expertise in the Teams, combined with the fact that Microsoft themselves are going into a specialist licensing model. What I mean by that is it's actually the experts they want you to deal with, not the generalists, because guess what? They'll be able to do that themselves directly. You probably already have a very large direct Microsoft relationship, but they actually want to come to companies like Gamma to do the advanced licensing. Well, actually, what you've asked us to, yeah, okay, Dave, we'd love you to do the Defender, and we'd love you to do your Teams or your Teams Premium, but actually I don't want two suppliers. Can you give me the M365 or the Azure as part of your turnkey solution? So the answer is yes. Now, we haven't got that expertise overnight. We are partnering, but obviously watch this space. You'll see capability come online, but it is available today. Now, it would be amiss of me not to end on the PSTN, yeah? Okay. I don't know how many people, it's not, we just thought it was funny more of having a phone. We actually ran a whole program of market education, trying to tell people that this juggernaut is coming down the road, because it is a juggernaut. Please, please, please do not kick it down the road, yeah, okay? This does not mean this extra 2 years, and again, it's breaking news. We got it last night. I don't think it's even gone out on the news wires yet, so, The exchanges are still getting turned off, guys. Yeah, they've just put the end game further out. Many of you in the room and some customers I'm looking at now know that we already cannot order some products in certain exchanges, yeah, because they've stopped selling them, yeah. OpenReach do not supply them anymore. So please go up to the switch on desk and understand how we can help you, okay? So I just want to end on a little bit of update with some systems work we're doing. And why am I updating you on systems work? Well, I'm updating you on this because this is absolute direct feedback from the last couple of years that both you've given us directly, but more importantly through the GX. You met Colin earlier on. So Colin's Gamma's new CTO. I would say he's been in role about 6 months. How long have you been in role, Colin? 5, 6, 5. 5 months. So actually, we're a bit privileged, actually, because many of you that have been customers for us for a long time, the little wee Gamma, you know, we're not the BTs, we're not the Vodafones of this world, we're certainly not of that size. Well, actually, Colin used to be the group CTO of BT, yeah? So, a bit of a big hitter, right? Okay? And it's a bit of a coup that he wanted to come to Gamma. So we're actually really excited by Colin coming on board. And Colin's already got a program of transformation, and we've given him all the data supplied by you guys to actually develop our new digital tooling. If you remember rightly, last year, for those in the room, told us what a managed service looks like and told us there was 5 key points that you wanted us to improve on. Number 1 was self-service, fairly obvious. You want to deal with Gamma when you want to deal with them. Sorry, it's too small there, I'm going to flip around. The next one is you wanted measurable KPIs at your fingertips, and obviously speed of delivery, okay? So these are some of the key business outcomes that we'll be working on in our digital transformation. Transparency, actually, I think we already do that because many of you know that our monitoring and tooling platforms are the same one we give you. So actually we have this alignment, but more importantly, you want us to be aligned to your business. Again, they're more strategic outcomes. So watch this space. We've got a great program and we'll be communicating that to you over the coming year-ish, 18 months. But the first one we're enhanced is we've actually started to, I'll get this right, I always used to, I'm a bit kind of 80s kid, so eat our own dog food, which is obviously of the moment if you've got a purple dog as your mascot, but I've been, marketing have pulled me up on this, and allegedly we're now drinking our own champagne, yeah? But we recently deployed, and Thomas Connolly is going to talk about this, a full AI-enabled contact center into Gamma, our own product using Amazon Connect, okay? And that's the first element of the full transformation that we'll be doing with our direct support organization and our enterprise support. So exciting times. Now, that's it from me. I'm going to be around all day and all evening, so please grab me if you want to have a chat, and please engage with the team and each other. It kind of, really, I was going to summarize here, but really to recap, thank you very much for being Gamma customers. Please continue to give us the feedback. Please continue to tell us what we need to do better. It really does drive what we do, okay? And it does, I believe, make us sincerely a different organization. Some great products enhancements. And actually, I'm really excited by what we're going to be doing over the coming 24 months because I think it's a really exciting market in genuinely this post-COVID era, this post-COVID era, sorry. The Microsoft relationship, the emerging new Cisco relationship, obviously people at LG coming to the portfolio, the Microsoft licensing, we believe that actually we've got a fairly compelling offer for you as large enterprises and public sector organizations. So look, that's it from me. I'm going to now hand over to, is it Richard McPhee, who'll go into some of the detail that I've signposted for you. So thank you for your time. Thank you.